So hey there everybody, you know we're having game night at our house. This will be the second year that we've done this and it is so much fun. I'm going to tell you the game that I picked out, and actually it's two games. I'm going to surprise my kids and I want to give you an update on how our game night went last time. So there's already a video on my channel that I filmed before we did our last game night, and I explained to you all the games that we were going to do. So I thought I would now give you an update on how those games went. So go back and watch that video. I'll have it in the description box. I'll put the thumbnail right here, and there's a card you can click to watch that video and hear all about the games that I had planned. But I want to tell you my two favorite games and some maybe modifications and things to do a little bit different. And then I'm going to tell you the two games that I'm planning for this year's game night. If you are my children or my husband or my son-in-laws, I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to wait for you to get off of this video. No cheating on game night. They wouldn't dare, right? They wouldn't dare. So last time we did game night, we played a bunch of games, like 6, I think. And the two funnest games were, in my opinion, I think everybody agreed, the toilet paper game. So we cleared off the dining room table because you need a really long space. You can do it on a hard floor. You can't do it on a floor that is like ceramic tile that has the little, grout lines. You need a smooth surface. So do it on a floor, do it on a dining room table, or a long like kitchen island. So you take a roll of toilet paper and you unroll it all the way down the length of the table so that the rolls are lined up at the end of the table. And then take a wine glass, or not a super heavy drinking glass, maybe like a Solo cup, and place that cup on the end of every piece of toilet paper and make sure that that cup is filled almost to the very tip top with water. So the game is, everybody who's playing, we did 2 at a time, gets on the end of the dining room table with the roll of toilet paper in their hand, and you say go, and they have to roll that toilet paper up, pulling the glass of water toward them without spilling the water, because if they spill the water, it gets the toilet paper wet, the toilet paper breaks, and they're out of the game. So we did it in kind of a relay race style. We had teams of 2. So we did random drawing. 2 people competed. The winner competed against the next person, against the next person. In the end, there was like a grand champion, and it was a ton of fun. What we learned is you don't want to use a cup that is too heavy. Don't use like a regular kitchen glass, because just the weight of the glass itself is just going to break the toilet paper. So use a wine glass is good, and like I said, maybe like a really one of those little party size Solo cups. That would be perfect. Don't put the water even with the top of the cup, because any little movement on that toilet paper, the water's going to spill over and that person's automatically going to be out. So give it just a hair bit of space, enough where they can start moving the toilet paper. But if they like jerk it or do it all wonky, yes, it's going to spill over, but give everybody a fighting chance. But this game, was a ton of fun. My favorite game, I think it was everybody's favorite game, was the question game. So you take dollar bills, or you could do it with chips if you don't want, but money is so enticing, right? Do it with money. So for example, you have a stack of $1 bills. You have 2 people playing against each other. So you lay out stacks of dollar bills in front of each player. Say you have 7 or 10 $1 bills, and then at the end you might have one $20 bill, for example. So it's a trivia game, and it's common, simple, holiday, Christmas trivia. Whoever's the MC or in charge of the game says, "What color is Rudolph's nose?" And the first person to slap the bill closest to them and gives the correct answer gets to keep that money. And so the object of the game is for each player to work their way down the line of $1 bills. Ultimately, somebody gets to that $20 bill, they answer correctly, and then they've made a lot of cash. And so we did this in the same fashion, kind of like team against team. So I had the guys play against the guys, the girls play against the girls, and then the winner of each one played my husband. Well, what I didn't, I guess I probably should have expected this, but what I did not expect was the guys, my son-in-laws, were super cordial about it. They knew the answer, they slapped the money, they gave the answer, and it was all fine and dandy. But when my daughters were playing head to head, there was almost a knockdown drag out. This was serious freaking business. They were slapping that money. There were so many disagreements about who hit it first. People were shouting out the answers like it was almost a full-on brawl. I ran out of questions because the girls got so involved and I didn't know who was hitting first that I was having to say, okay, throw out the question, start over, and we'll do another one. So here's my tips if you are going to do the question game. Number one, have way more questions prepared than you ever think you need. Just ask ChatGPT or Google simple Christmas trivia, or you can think of lots of just easy things, questions that anybody should know the answer to, but be prepared. If we were going to play this again, I would absolutely go to Amazon and buy a super inexpensive buzzer system. They have buzzers that are really big, that are different colors, and each one makes a different sound. That could be cute. That way you're at least being able to see or hear who hits the buzzer first, because I'm telling you, this game got serious quick. You can also, if you want to be a little fancier, get the buzzer system that is all wired together so there is no doubt who is hitting their buzzer first. I will put my 2 recommendations for the buzzers in the description box below this video. So if you want to play this on game night, I'm telling you, highly recommend having a buzzer and be prepared. But I think this game was the funnest one of the whole night. We laughed our heads off. We had a ball, and those kids went home with a pocket full of money. But what are we going to do this year? How are we going to top it? So as I've told you all before, I planned all the games last time, so I didn't really get to play them. I was kind of like the game show host, the MC. So we decided this year, each of us, or 6 of us, well, Lola, each of us will bring a game. Nobody knows the game. That way everybody gets to play. So the rules are this: bring a game, keep it a secret, and bring one gift, $30 value that anybody would like. So we're going to have like a gift table. The gifts are not going to be wrapped. We're going to sit the gifts out so the winner of each game can see the gifts and choose something they would like. So I don't know what my daughters and son-in-laws are bringing. I do know that they have their games picked out. My husband has his game picked out, and I do know it involves a box because he's been in here scrounging around in all of the boxes that our Christmas gifts have shown up in, trying to find one that's the correct size and shape for his game. So what is my game going to be? Well, I've been on Instagram, I've been on TikTok, I've been searching for games for months, and I think I've decided on the game. I don't know if there's a name for the game. I'm just kind of making up my own thing, but basically I'm going to outline a square on the floor, and everybody's going to play the game one person at a time. Well, I mean, I guess we could do it competition style, but let's go one person at a time. They're going to get inside the square. They're going to have a bucket and a bunch of balls inside the square, and they're going to have a balloon. And the game is who can keep the balloon in the air and pick up the most balls and put them in the bucket. So when the balls are picked up or the balloon touches the ground, the game is over for that person. And we'll see who wins. It really is a little bit of skill, a little bit of luck, right? They cannot get outside of that square that I've drawn. Think about how hard that is. You're either sitting on your bottom or on your knees or on your hands and knees trying to keep this balloon in the air, picking up balls in a bucket. Like, just that alone is hard enough. And if you hit that balloon too hard, it's going to go flying outside of your square. You're not going to be able to get to it. So I don't know if people are going to be able to do this or not, but I saw somebody on TikTok doing it and it looked like a ton of fun. So that is going to be our game. I haven't decided on my gift just yet. I got to put my mind to that. But I've decided at the end of the night, I'm going to surprise everybody with a game that we're all going to play together. It is going to be so much fun, and it is in this little bag. So have you ever heard of a game called Left, Right, Center? Apparently, it's a thing because you can buy the dice that you need for left, right, center on Amazon. That's where I got these. They were just like $5 or $6 and came in this little case. But there's 3 die in here. They're all identical. One side says left. There's a side that says right. A bunch of sides that just have a ball on them, or a circle, and then one side that has a star. So you're going to get everybody around the table, and you can play with chips or you can play with money. I think we're actually going to play with money. So you're going to give everybody that's playing 3 of the same denomination of bill. So let's just say we're using $1 bills. Everybody gets 3 $1 bills. So whoever starts out takes all 3 dice, you roll them, and then whatever each dice says is what that person has to do with their dollar bills. So if they get one that says left, they give $1 bill to the person to their left. Says right, give a dollar bill to the person on the right. If it has a star, they put a dollar bill in the center of the table, and if there is a dot, they keep that dollar bill, and then the dice goes to the next person. And you're just going to do that round and round. Nobody is ever out. But if the dice goes to somebody, and let's say they only have 2 bills in their hand, then they only roll 2 dice. So the object of the game is to be the last person standing with a dollar bill. Everybody else is going to be empty-handed, and that person wins. They get all the money that's in the center of the table. So this is a really cool game because you can calculate in advance how much money is going to be won, how much you're all in to play. So I have 6 people playing, $3 bills each. That's $18 total. That's a pretty cheap game, and everybody's going to have a ton of fun. So don't tell my kids. I'm actually going to show up to game night with 2 games, and we are going to have a ball. If you have never played game night with your family or friends, highly recommend. Give it a try. The first Christmas we did this, we laughed our heads off. We had so much fun. So this year we're making it a whole thing. We're going to go out to dinner, come back and have Christmas themed cocktails, and let game night commence. I am so excited. I know everybody is so excited. We have been planning our games for over a year now. It is going to be a ball. And it's a great way if you're going to have friends over, or maybe there's people who are coming to your house that you don't know that well. Everybody can play. There's really no skill involved. You can get a bond and interact with people that you may not normally talk to otherwise. You know, there's always that one like cranky uncle or something when you show up at your grandma's house. Well, just have game night. It brings everybody together, and I know you'll have a ball. If you have any questions about the games I played in the past or about the games I'm going to play this year, just drop them down in the comments and I'll get right back to you. See you later. Right, Lola? Hey, miss. Say bye, Lola. See ya.